Howdy. Oh my goodness. Voice is gone. Howdy, folks. How's everyone? Good to see you all. Just trying to see if I can actually broadcast from my computer. And it doesn't seem to be working. I thought I might try it. So it's still coming from my phone. So anyway, we're still playing with the software until we get everything known. So I'm trying different things on the channel. I hope everyone can hear me. If you know my phone number, I need somebody to call me. You guys know how it works. My phone is not picking up the signal just yet. So I think by the fact that I still have 39 people on, everyone can hear me. So the numbers are increasing now. I'm trying to continue forward with this the post. So I've gone to, if you haven't been able to tell, I've pretty much gone to daily posting. Only I was tired, so it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Atlanta, and I kind of actually. And it looks like somebody did call. It looks like somebody called me, so I am on, and I should be able to see everybody in just a second. Yes, I see everybody. It's Johnny Thompson. How are you, Ghost Riders? How are you? Unknown. It's 5:03 in Australia. Is that 5:03 in the morning? And holy moly. Sorry, I normally try to get in earlier, but I slept in today. So we got everybody, Big Mike, Austin, Texas, Langston over in Austin, Texas, Infidels in Colorado, good morning. So Drama Bull says good morning. He must be on the East Coast, or rather the West Coast. And 5:30 a.m. in Australia on Sunday. Oh, you guys are like a whole day ahead. Well, cow, well, bunga. Good morning, Wesley Walsh from Indiana, Southern Indiana. Lubbock, Texas is on. Unknown says he hasn't slept yet. First time I'm corresponding with you. My real name is Buzz. What's up, Buzz? Good to see you, sir. Where are you at? Looks like we've got San Diego, Delaware. Good afternoon from Delaware. That's here on the East Coast, isn't it? And we have been drinking Jack Daniels, Tennessee. Fire. So Unknown's been up for a while. Hasn't been asleep all night. Good morning. Getting Skinny with me, Screwball. So you must either be on Fat Boy Getting Skinny, or on my Fitbit, or on or you'll be following me on here, or on my Samsung. So if you want to get skinny with me, and we're losing our weight right now, you can check out my diet on MyFitnessPal under JBunchII, JBUNCHII. Good evening, UK, Philadelphia. Hi, New Zealand. Wow. So my Fitbit, MyFitnessPal. You got to download that app, and I'm JBunchII. Send me a friend request. We'll lose weight together. My Fitbit, I'm JBunchII, JBUNCHII, stands for John Bunch II. Samsung Health. Let's see, Fitbit, Samsung Health, and MyFitnessPal. And Fat Boy Getting Skinny on Facebook. Getting, Gettin, Fat Boy Getting Skinny. And also, I'm on the swim thing, Finnish, the Finnish swim app. We'll be swimming together. Something like 1,500 meters each morning. Good afternoon. Just finished cutting up the meat. Deer meat. Oh, it is deer season. It's, wow. You got the back straps and things, and you're going to make that sausage and the deer burgers, and Your pal Black Dragon is over here, dear meatless. And yeah, I could use some. It's time for live alternative MC saying hello. What's up? What's up, James Young? So today, I'm trying to get into some kind of rhythm to figure out how I'm going to do this kind of daily thing. Like maybe Mondays will be prospects, Tuesdays presidents, Wednesdays sergeant at arms, Thursdays general members, Friday any kind of subject, and maybe Saturdays will be a commentary of kind of what we went over during the week. Any more midnight calls from the screwball? I don't want to call anyone any names, but I haven't heard from him. But I don't know if, I may have missed, you never know if you made him angry and you're going to see him in the woods, so no more midnight calls and 3 o'clock morning calls. It's just not called for. I'll talk to anybody, anytime about anything. And I don't mind talking to you. And mostly I video chat from Facebook. You can talk to me. I don't mind talking to you, but don't act like you've got this like inside track, like you know me, like you can call me at my house. Because I have a personal life and family members and everything, and my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning is dedicated to my family if they have issues and they need to talk to their brother, father, son, nephew, whatever. And I think that's fair. Tim Harris, Rick Rowe, Ed Sanders, Tony Kerr. Love your show, Black Dragon. And, thank you so much. And I never really started out trying to do a show, but I guess that's what it's turned into. I like to call it our daily chats. So, for the people that say I take too long to get to my subject, I didn't put a subject today. So today, we'll ramble a little bit. We're going to talk about comments and questions. And the way you support the show, I tell everybody, don't skip through the commercials. Watch them, because the commercials help the show. So, watch the commercial. It's not hard to do. Also, we have the dollar bill button. That's the super chat, and I will be answering people's questions today. So throw me a few bucks on super chat. I just got $10 from Brandon Richard, and the super chat. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to buy some better equipment so that I can serve you guys better and have some fun. I want a GoPro 6 Black and the helicopter that goes with it. So you guys are going to be, I'm doing so many things in 2018. We're going to have so much fun, and I really want better equipment. So that's why I asked for your support for the channel. And also, you can go to the Patreon page and pledge $2 or $4 or $5 or $10 a month. It's at Patreon. It's Black Dragon NP for Black Dragon National President. Now, for those folks who want to Facebook me, you can Facebook me at Black Dragon Biker. I don't have any more room on my personal Facebook, JBunchII. I know I've only got 4,700, so I still could conceivably take 300 people or more, 400 people, but I'm really leaving that open for new Black Sabbath members. So now if you want to friend me, you have to go to Black Dragon Biker on my friend request on my Facebook. And that way, you'll have the same access to me. Ask anybody. Everybody's still sending me messages and emails, blah, 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 blah. So I will still talk to you on there, just like... Now, anyone, if you want to go to JBunchII and put me on your messenger, I will message with anybody anytime. We can message face-to-face. We can talk. It's going to be really cool. So you can always message me. My Twitter is JBunchII. My Instagram is JBunchII. My Marco Polo is JBunchII. My Snapchat is JBunchII. And I'm trying to get my Vines together, so I'll have a Vine and all those things. So I have Twitter feeds. Once again, I want to thank you, Brandon Richard, for your $10 super chat, sir. Thank you so much. We have Ed Sanders, Tony Kerr, Jimmy Thompson, Carla Watson. Hi, Black Dragon. I enjoy our chats, too. Helene Wortham, is that what it is? I should know. I know your last name. Helene Wortham. Unknown. I want to get a bike, but I don't know what bike to get for the first bike. I was thinking of getting a Kawasaki A Kawasaki what? I lost him. I lost him. Oh my goodness. I was thinking of getting a Kawasaki Ninja. A Kawasaki Ninja what? For your first bike? Man, please. Quit it. You've lost your mind. You need, for your first bike, a Honda Rebel for your first bike. Or a Honda Shadow 550, 750 for your first bike. That's what you need for your first bike. You don't need a Ninja anything unless it's a Ninja 250. Oh my God, how many people have I buried in my life? Ninja 250. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I buried so many people with Ninjas as their first bikes. Your first bike, and today is question and answer day. So we'll do comments, question and answers, and we can talk about anything. And so there's no real format for today. So those people who just don't like to hear me ramble, you could probably log off now. So what do we have? All right. So we'll talk for just a second. Do you reckon a Kawasaki Ninja is a good bike for a starter bike and someone that weighs 50 to 60 kilograms? What the hell? I don't know what a kilogram is. Oh my gosh. Let me ask the computer how many kilograms are in a pound. I have no freaking idea. What is 60 kilograms in pounds? Oh, somebody's already looked this up. So, 60 kilograms, 132 pounds. 132 pounds is, 60 kilograms is probably excellent for a Ninja 250. Simon Maxwell said that's about 120. You're wrong, Simon Maxwell. It's 132 pounds, not 120. My first bike was a 79 Honda CB750. Yeah. In your opinion, what's the fastest cruiser? The fastest cruiser is probably gonna, So, you got so many different kinds, like you got two-cylinder cruisers. So the Honda F6, is that what it's called? The little runt Goldwing, F6B, maybe that's what it's called. And the Honda Goldwings, those are like super fast bikes. The Valkyries are amazing. That Kawasaki, is it a Vasquero? What is that thing called? That thing is fast. So, of course, the Indians have some really fast, like 115s and things like that, 113s. And you can pump those up to like 126s for little money or no money. My bike, the Victory Vision, is a screamer. It's a monster. It's hard to say what's the fastest cruiser. Once you get up to 1800 cc's or better, they're all pretty damn quick. Triumph Rocket 3 that I have is very quick. Triumph Rocket 3 is quick. They're more throaty and they're more neck snappy than they are top-end bikes, I think, with the Triumphs. Based on your experience, how is the MC life with truckers that want to join? So, the number 2 in charge of the Black Sabbath is a trucker. I have a lot of truckers in the Black Sabbath, and I have always had. So you get two things with truckers. You either get suckwad, lousy performance, or guys that will incorporate their families to the club. Because if you're on the road all week and you only have a weekend in the club, then that weekend you're going to be sharing with the club and your family. So that's really kind of how people really get started or really do well as truckers in the MC. They kind of mold their family life into the MC. I love truckers. They make great road captains. They know the road, and they will ride long distance with you because they're used to getting out there and getting it. It's just a different mode of transportation. So I think MCs can do good with truckers, but truckers definitely are giving probably a lot more than anyone else because they're always on the road, gone from their family, and now they get home on the weekend and the MC wants to ride. Someone says, would you recommend a 16-year-old starting out on an 1800cc Harley or Indian? Hell no. I wouldn't recommend a 16-year-old starting out on an 1800 anything. I would recommend a 16-year-old start out on a dirt bike somewhere in the grass, so that those bikes. Here's the thing. When I first got started riding motorcycles, oh Jesus! So we were we had Honda 3-wheelers, 50s, ATC 50s, and we had the 3-wheeler 50 and the mini trail this, and by the time I was about 10 years old, maybe the fastest motorcycle was like a Honda 400 or something. So we learned how to ride where you could wreck a motorcycle and still live to tell the story. Our motorcycle, the fastest they could go was 40, 50. Maybe you could squeeze 80 out of a Honda Yamaha 125 Enduro. They only had 2-strokes for forever. The 4-strokes didn't come till I was about maybe 15 or something that I can remember. So what I'm saying is, you could wreck a motorcycle and be forgiven, and wreck it 1,000 different ways. And develop your skills. Someone just said in Europe you can't start anything greater than a 50cc. And Europe is different. In America, if you're 16, your father can go buy you a ZX 1400 super speed Ninja and stick you on it with rocket boosters, turbocharged rocket fuel, and a stage 3 jet kit. And it's all perfectly legal, and you'll be dead in a week. But there's a difference when you start out on a motorcycle that can do 180 miles an hour off the showroom floor with no with no engine upgrades or anything. You can just walk off the showroom floor and go do 180, 200, and you're 16 years old. You're going to do that. And what happens is you don't get an opportunity to learn. You don't get an opportunity to fall. And when you do fall at those super speeds, you don't get back up. And if you get back up, you're in just a destroyed, beat up, crippled, never walk again condition. And I can tell you what happens when you have a real bad motorcycle wreck. You lose pieces of your body. Pieces where they have to reattach your thumb. If my fingernail's a little dirty, please forgive me. I didn't know I'd be showing them. But they have to reattach your thumb onto your body. This is what happens when you leave pieces of you on the highway. Pieces. That's what happens. $10 from Big Mike. Merry Christmas to me. Happy to hear a response to my Facebook message. Thank you, sir, for helping me get closer to my GoPro Black 6 and its accompanying, rotor thing, drone with the gimbal stick. Oh my goodness, I can feel it now. You leave pieces out there. You leave pieces out there on the road at 16 when you start on a 1800 anything. So no, leave it alone. Tim Harris said, I completely agree. It took me 10 years to gain the experience and confidence to ride a leader bike. Is Black Sabbath MC opening up in Detroit? I certainly hope so. I tell everyone, people always ask us, are we there? So what you have to do to open up a Black Sabbath clubhouse is we require 7 people. We call them the original 7. The reason we require 7 people is because that's what the Black Sabbath started with. Now, in most places, you only need 5 to start a motorcycle club. And I've heard some councils talking about they want 10 now. But in the Black Sabbath, you need an original 7 people, men with motorcycles and heart, willing to follow our bylaws. You got to have a motorcycle, you got to have a license, and a provable source of verifiable income. And then we will check you out. And if you meet our criteria, then we will start petitioning the 1%er in that area to see if we can get a Black Sabbath started in that area. And that's kind of how we do it. We have a training program, and we have a prospective motorcycle chapter program, and you've got to pass all those requirements. It's not easy. Sometimes it takes a while. For instance, it took 3.5 years to get our Beaufort, South Carolina chapter up. The 1%ers were very, very tough on us in that area. But when the green light came, it came with great respect for all of the hard work that we did. Good morning, Dwayne Newman. So for those who ask about chapters in other areas and other countries, and we're learning that process. Some places we'll be able to get into and some places we won't, but we're always trying to expand. Roland Drummond said, started riding a 55 hot Honda CB450, 1.5 years and ready to move up in size with my wife on the back. Would you recommend Mini Say Goldwing? I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. So I am such a Goldwing fan. And the only reason that I don't ride my Goldwing anymore is like my club was like, we can't have a national president on a Goldwing, man. You got to get American-made steel. I just got so sick of hearing this, man. So I went out and got what I thought was the closest American-made V-twin to how the Goldwing operates, and that was the Victory Vision. And it's an amazing motorcycle, but it's hard for me to find a cruiser that tops what a Goldwing will do. And Goldwings, I mean, for many years, they didn't even have any competitors. They've been doing it 45, 50 years with these things. So if you're going to ride cross-country with a wife, the Goldwing is amazing. I was riding a Goldwing at 350 pounds. Now, a funny thing about motorcycles that we need to talk about is what you put on the motorcycles have a max weight, believe it or not. So if you weigh 350 and your wife weighs 200, you are beyond the capacity that most bikes can carry. Now, the Victory Vision can carry 600 pounds. The Goldwing can carry like 4, my version can carry about 4 or something. And that's with all of the luggage and everything included. So where that is important, there was many years ago, the National Black Biker Roundup was in Las Vegas, and we were all riding across. That was like 2010. It was like the hottest years in history, and the highway was 115 at midnight. It was 115 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so hot you could bake food. You could cook an egg on the highway. The asphalt was melting. So if it's 115 degrees temperature, it's 130 degrees on the asphalt. So you're running a motorcycle on tires meant to carry a capacity of 400 pounds, and you weigh 250 and your wife weighs 200, that's 450, and you got 200 pounds worth of weight stuffed in the saddlebags, and you're riding on the highway at 110 miles an hour for 7 hours. So what's going on with those tires? They're absolutely not rated to carry what you're doing. So you're rolling real hard out there, and what do? You blow those tires at those big speeds. So one of the things that we will be talking about, especially in the future, is how do we ride safely based on the capacities that the bikes are built for. And I have ridden a Goldwing and literally had the tires come apart on me. Did I just see Dibber on here? I just saw something that said Dibber's name. If I see you out there, Dibber, thank you for tuning in. An honor and respect to you, sir. Yeah, I just saw Dibber's name. Dibber said, I learned up in the woods as a kid on what we call a pit bike. That is any old small bore shit with a running engine. Got me ready for the real thing, but still didn't prepare me for the road. So, yeah. So youngsters want to go fast, and you see these guys on the X Games turning somersaults in the air and flipping back and forth and all that. But do you see their practice? I mean, these guys have like these boxes that they fall into. They got money, man. They have bicycles. They flip into the air, into the water swimming pool. You know, it's getting ready for that stuff. It's not like a poor man's game. You got to have the stuff to be able to get proficient at that. Someone says, I do miss having my Goldwing. They are tough. Good afternoon. Much respect to you. Good afternoon to you. Where are you at? Patrick Rima. Carl Watson. First bike 600, 2007 until 2016. Victory Magnum. Yes, sir. I love the victories. What's up, Creed? Recon. Good to see you, sir. Have seen draft shaft failure on an overweighted GW, Goldwing as well. I've never seen a draft shaft failure. Oh my God. That must mean the back tire locks up and you're on your way for an outstanding ride. What kind of cruiser or Harley would you recommend for a 16-year-old stout? I would recommend a Harley, what are those beginning Harley? 883, 888s? Harley 888 Sportster? That's still 800 cc's. That's a big bad boy, but you're not gonna get into a lot of trouble with it. I really like Rebels and Suzuki's, the 550 models. You're 16. You really need a 500, 400 to get started on, and you have to take the course. You got to take the class. Somebody said Iron 883. You got to take the class. Ghost Eagle said, my first bike was a 47 knuckle. Wow. The class is important. The class, anyway, I can teach you how to ride a motorcycle. But the class has gone over things I would miss because I'm not teaching people every day. So they're going to teach you counter steering. One of the most important things you could ever learn while riding a motorcycle. You got to know counter steering. You got to know climates and temperatures and various road conditions and things like that. And these are the things the courses are designed to teach you. Then you practice and you get better. You practice and you get better. Get a little experience under your belt. So always your first bike your first bike probably shouldn't be a Harley. They're very expensive. You need to know what you're doing to maintain them, or you're going to be spending a lot of your own personal money. And maybe that should be your second bike. Knowing that's where you want to go, get the first bike and spend a year on it. So you can tear it up and let it be a used bike. You can tear it up, you can drop it, you can let it fall, you can sell it and still get your money back, and then go get your Harley. Scott Stone said an 883 Sportster. Somebody said a Street 500 Harley also comes in the 750. I don't know a lot about Harleys, but for a 16-year-old, the smaller the CC, and the smallest CC I've ever heard of is an 883, but this guy says there's a 750 CC as well. In Michigan, if you pass the motorcycle safety course, Motorcycle Safety Federation, is that what MSF stands for? You don't have to test at Secretary of State DMV. Just go get the endorsement. It's that way in Georgia, too. Now, in Europe, it's completely different. You don't even get these answers. You don't even get these, choices. It's, you will be on this little midget bike, dude, until you pass this, this, and this. And like they got all this like safety business going on. Like they don't even play that. We're not even discussing you and an 1800 at 16. We're not even going to have that conversation. Which is kind of funny because a lot of guys want to join MCs and those MCs have CC requirements. And they can't even get into their MC until they meet the CC requirements. So they're driving around for a year or two just trying to meet the CC requirements. And I don't know, maybe we should do it like that in the United States too. Did you say that I wrote a victory? Yes, I write a victory. And Charles Harris says in California it's that way as well. You got to be at least 24 years old to ride a 1000 cc where I'm at. Woo! Baby. I had a 1000 cc at 18. Holy moly. Now, was I even younger than that? So, oh my goodness. KZ1000R. Those were the baddest bikes in the world. I had a Gixxer GSX 1100. I had a GS 1150E, an 1150 ES. I was still a teenager, smoking it, man. So, by 24 years old, I was looking at getting my gold wing. I was already old on my height. Somebody says my height is 4'11", 140 pounds. That will be a good bike. What would be a good bike for me? Thinking about getting a 3-wheel. So I don't know anything about trikes. I'm not a trike rider yet. And, for me, that means you're old. And I don't want to be old yet. So I know nothing about trikes. Like I say, for me, the time-tested bikes to get started on are your Hondas, your Yamahas, your Kawasaki 400, 500, 600 bikes. Like and definitely Honda Rebel, Honda Shadows. These bikes are just time-honored metric bikes that can take a beating and you can learn on them. Let's see. In New York, you can start on any CC bike. Yeah, they don't care about us here in the States. Somebody said something. Same in UK, nothing over 600 cc until you are 24 years old. Holy moly. Man, it's a communist country over there. What the hell? Somebody said I dumped my right arm real bad when I was 14 off a Yamaha 125 dirt bike. I now wish the accident had happened 3 years later. And on the left, Woods would have saved me tons in tattoo cover-ups. Hey, if you dumped your bike and now have to tattoo over the scar, you probably didn't have your equipment on, which brings another. And I'm the worst one to talk because you guys will see me screaming across the country in the triple digits in a T-shirt. And that's absolutely wrong. And now that I know I have so many followers, I'll be trying to step up my game in every aspect, including wearing the appropriate gear. I transferred to a full-face helmet for the first time last year for, 24/7 like always. That's because we had like 6 accidents in the Black Sabbath. And everybody had a face plant in every accident. And their full-face helmets saved their faces, except for one guy who had his face plant in the Black Sabbath, and he got toe up. TOOW, toe up. And I was like, and Ride or Die, the East Coast regional president of the Black Sabbath, Ride or Die is one of the hardest riders that we have. With a name like Ride or Die, he has to be. And one day I see Ride or Die roll up with a full-face helmet. And I said, Ride or Die, what do you have a full-face helmet on for? And he said, bro, I can't do it anymore, man. Looking at the brothers, no way. And when Ride or Die goes to a full-face helmet, we all go to full-face helmets. So you need a full-face helmet. You need the right appropriate gloves and things and stuff like that so you can keep your stuff on you. Somebody says, you will see me in a video I'm doing for you, and I always wear the gear. My best friend and just very decent human being by the name of Bob Schultz Says ATG, ATT, all the gear, all the time. All the gear, all the time. ATG, ATT. Someone said, hell no, I'm not even sure that kid that owned it knew where the gear was. I don't think we were supposed to be on that bike. Okay, so trying to scroll back here. So soon I'll be able to, I'm buying an interface, so I'll be able to do this on my computer, and then I can just watch the comments as they come across. I'm not able to do that now. So let me go to a question that I have here. My MC that I'm trying to start is going to be co-ed. It has 8 members. We've been like family for years. We ride in perfect formation. We have traditional values. Besides being co-ed, we will be looked down upon. Will we be looked down upon by our local dominant and find it harder to get a blessing, even with all the things we've perfected as a potential MC? By the way, he told me who their dominant was. Will we be looked down upon? Well, there are many, or besides being looked down upon, will we be able to get a blessing? There are many co-ed MCs that are blessed every day across the nation. Your decision to ride co-ed is your business. And are you going to be able to get that blessing? I don't know. I can't guarantee it. But if there are other co-ed MCs in your area, then you should be able to get your blessing. As long as you meet the requirements of the COC in that area. I always say don't worry about what people think about your club. Your club is your own club, and your brothers and sisters you decide to ride with are yours. $5 donation from CEO of the MOB, or is that MOB? MOB. Thank you, sir, for your donation. You're helping me get one step closer to my drone, my beautiful GoPro, and my gimbal. So $6,000, but I can't wait. All the gear, all the time. ATGAT. Aha. Let's see. The UK motorcycle laws are European Union creation. It's the reason the EU flag is on a British riding license. Ah, man. Well, does that? But the EU is kicked out of there now, right? So those laws will change, won't they? We have to ask Dibber for that. Only legal requirement in the UK is an approved helmet. We have a DOT approved helmet. Somebody asked me the status of the President's Bible. It is still at the printers. It's been through two writings now. It's still at the editors rather. And I should know something after Christmas. Are they going to kick it back for a third writing, or are they going to let it out? So we're looking at something. Hopefully they'll say it's good, and it might be out right after Christmas. If not, it'll be in January. Not for another 2 years, and most of the EU laws will remain in effect. Yeah, we got some of that going on here. I always wear a full face helmet. Crashed once, and I was lucky to be wearing a full face helmet. My face is still intact because of it. Yeah, faces are those important things we need. Can you share the link where we can buy a WeMC hoodie, please? So, the WeMC hoodies and WeMC gear. I got so many things on my plate. I'm trying to get President's Bible out. I'm trying to publish these videos every day, and an everyday publishing schedule is tough. And I couldn't do it if I wasn't doing it live. In 2018, I hope to have some editors, some video editors, so we can give you guys some really nice videos made in the studios. I've got some real neat stuff coming. Like, one of the things I'm going to be doing today, as a matter of fact, I got to leave out of here and go do it today, is one of my subscribers asked for a video to show people how to buy a used motorcycle. So I'm on my way. I'm going to head over to Mountain Motorsports to my guys that work on my bikes, my mechanics, and they're going to take some time this afternoon, and they're gonna go over how to buy used motorcycles. So that's more than just a phone and a guy talking. There's going to be some stuff where we're going to cut and do over and everything like that. And I need a microphone and some lights and maybe a gaff pole and all this stuff that I don't have. But I want to have a very good video for you guys. This would be a kind of a finished kind of production. And it's going to be filmed on my phone, my Samsung 8. And I'm going to do the best I can. But I really want you guys to, that's the kind of video that I want to do well. So people will be looking at it for a long time who are buying used motorcycles for the first time or several times. So I'm on my way to go do that here right after I get through talking to you guys. So how's this for coincidence? I have Black Sabbath, the band, muted on TV and listening to the national president of the Black Sabbath MC Nation. That's crazy. We have nothing to do with that band, other than we listen to their music from time to time, some of us. And I don't know whether the band was out before we or we were out before the band. Our name didn't come from the idea of the band at all. The Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation was started by 7 black men who rode on Sundays. And they got together in about 1972 on one motorcycle, a Honda 405 Scrambler. And that one motorcycle they used to teach each other how to ride. And between 1972 and 1974, every weekend on Sunday after church, they met at their garages where they would tell tall tales, drink, smoke, talk noise, tell lies, and talk about their exploits. And the wives felt very uncomfortable about the unity of the men. And so by 1974, the wives all revolted and told them they could no longer meet in their garages. So they decided to become their wives' worst nightmares and go get a motorcycle club house. But they didn't have a motorcycle club name. They weren't even a motorcycle club. So with a clubhouse required a name, and they decided, what are we going to call ourselves? And someone said, we're 7 black guys that ride on Sundays. Let's call ourselves the Black Sabbath. So 7 black guys who rode on the Sabbath day. And the Black Sabbath got its clubhouse sometime around February 1974. And that's when we always have our party, February 1974. And that's when we became the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. Within a year, less than a year, we were already integrated because once we announced as a motorcycle club, all of the guys in the military, Merchant Marines, Air Force, Army, we have all of that stuff right there in San Diego, and they just flocked to us. And that's how we became an integrated motorcycle club of all races, of all people. And that's how we got our name. So, everybody associates us with the band, but we really don't have anything to do with them, but it would be cool to meet some of them. When you decide to get your drone, look at the Mavic. Look at the Mavic Pro donations coming your way to help you. It really is the best out there and the easiest to fly. So, listen, I have the most, knowledgeable, cool people out there. For instance, I built this chamber in here to be able to write to do my books on audio. So one of my viewers came over and set this up for me. This is my Focusrite preamp thing that for my microphone and stuff. And then he set up my Pro Tools, so that I could do my own audiobooks. So Then this thing was clipping out a couple days ago. I went and bought it, not about maybe 8 months ago or something. And I don't use it much because I'm always walking and talking, but I wanted to have a great microphone. And then it was clipping out and everything. And I got like 15 people calling me up telling me how to set it up. One guy called me the ultimate end user. Like that was such an insult, but completely the truth. So I'm thankful for you guys keeping me good, keeping me straight, keeping me honest, keeping me looking good in front of the masses. And so, yes, I definitely need you guys' help in knowing the best setup that I need for my outdoor stuff, because I'm going to be riding on the motorcycle. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to ride in formation, and I want that flying GoPro thing to show us in all the various aspects. I'm going to be showing you how MCs are supposed to ride, how we pull in, how we pull out, how we ride safety. I'm going to be teaching you guys counter steering. I just really want to take this channel to the next level in 2018, where I'm showing you guys everything I've learned over the past 30 years to really make you have a fun time, enjoy the way you can take the motorcycle club, how to really exercise the we in the motorcycle club, and how to really make the MC a very fun place for you to be. So all of this back to the we hoodie. So I've just been so busy, I haven't been able to put together the we hoodie thing. The we hoodies, the we shirts, the whole we. And I want to use a store like Spotify or Shopify, that's what it's called, or something like that to get that out. So I've had one person buy a we hoodie and a we shirt, and he just sent me the money to my PayPal, and my t-shirt guy's making it for him right now. So I don't have a real we link. What I'll do is put in the description how much the shirts cost and where you can get them from. But very soon I'll have a store, an e-store, that you can go buy that stuff from. And it really makes me feel really great that somebody would want to wear the we stuff. Like my whole we attitude is getting out to the world, and I'm very thankful. We have Dibber speaking. Dibber says, Dibber knows everything. Dibber says they were called Black Sabbath before the beginning of 1969. Ozzy used to live local to Dibber. He also used to drink in the bikers pubs in a town called Amersham in Buckinghamshire. So, Dibber knows everything. And what I like about Dibber is you ever meet that person that really did the research? That's a Dibber, the research guy. Dibber does research. It's hard to mess with Dibber because Dibber does research. You want to take on Dibber, he'll flood your ass with research. And it's be like, what do you got to say? Here's the stuff, here are the sources. And so we can argue the sources. And people that just run off at the mouth and don't do the research, then they don't hang with Dibber long. They get blown out of the water. Somebody says the story of the Black Sabbath and how it's got its name. Speaking of black motorcycle riders, what happened to him? I lost you. I never knew how much they influenced motorcycling. Like Cowboy Bike and Captain America. One of the reasons that I did the movie Biker Boys, and one of the reasons that I wrote Prospects Bible and Road Captain's Bible, or Sergeant at Arms Bible and PRO's Bible, and the reason I have the rest of them coming out, and one of the reasons I decided to speak and become this person you're seeing here is that history is written by the winners. History is written often by the folks that are the elitists that are running things. And if you're a minority, a lot of times what happens is your story can be lost. Someone said, you have a movie. Yeah, Biker Boys. I was one of the people that helped bring Biker Boys to the silver screen, and it was really, really cool to do so. But in our groups, we used to say, well, why won't they ever? One of the biggest things I'm always hit with is, you're a black cowboy. I didn't know there were any black cowboys. And it's really funny because people that say that watched Hollywood movies where they had no black people in them. Like black people were in slavery times, then cowboy times came, and they disappeared, and then they came back during Jim Crow. Like we disappeared off the western frontier. That was all won by white cowboys. And people don't understand that perhaps the first cowboys in this country were African American. And the whole cowboying culture was taught to the Texans by Spaniard and Mexican cowboys. And so it was the slaves that learned cowboying and cowpunching, and the way that the other races got into cowboying. Most people don't know that cowboying only really lasted 25 years. It's one of the biggest traditions in America, but the actual cowboying only really lasted until the time that the railroads got built across the country and the telegraph came in, and there was really no need for real, cowboys anymore. There were only about 5,000 cowboys ever. And a third were black, a third were Native American, and a third were Caucasian. And people have no idea about that. So you're a black cowboy? So the reason I started talking is that people don't know the history. And I remember when the whole Biker Boys thing came up, and folks would say, well, why don't they put us in the movies? Well, we're capable of writing our own movies now. So we can put ourselves in the movies, and we can tell our stories. A lot of people that watched that Easy Rider movie never knew that the bike, the Captain America bike and the other bike, were designed by black bike designers. But a lot of people don't know that, and that the whole chopper movement was a black motorcycle culture thing. And I remember those guys building those choppers or those 400 Hondas and stuff when I was just a kid in the early 70s and 60s, watching those brothers come back from Vietnam and build those choppers. So that was black influenced. And but all those years later, they talk about Jesse James. They don't talk about the folks but we can talk about ourselves. So that's what I do. I don't mind. Bass Reeves, great black cowboy, who was played by a white Lone Ranger. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know that the Lone Ranger character was most probably based on Bass Reeves. And Bass Reeves was the sheriff, or not the sheriff, but the marshal, the ranger who worked for the hanging judge. And the hanging judge that was stationed outside of Little Rock, Fort Smith, Arkansas, he would send Bass Reeves in to go get the bad men. And we all remember the hanging judge. So these are stories that people don't know about. No, Black Sabbath is not a 1%. It's a 99% club. I must have missed that. Germany is getting super strict about loud pipes. The Netherlands wanted to ban the wearing of colors. France wanted to make everyone wear yellow fluorescent gear. So I have a video coming out about that. I have a video coming out about about what's going on with the government all over the country, all over the world, as they're coming down on bikers who coalesce in bike clubs that they want to call gangs. Shout out to me from South Florida. Thank you, Alex Rivera. Black Sabbath is a 99% club for someone who may have asked that. But we come from a different era, really, before you had all of those nomenclatures. So Black Sabbath we have an interesting story. As we operated as a dominant club where we were from for many, many decades. So we'll talk about that. Someone said, I love Biker Boys. The council scene was so cool. The thing about the council scene, it was the actual council at the time. It was the actual council that ran L.A. and the San Diego counties. And all of the people there were actually true presidents, except for the actors. And we had all the presidents of most of the major motorcycle clubs in the area in that movie. Just a little side note there. So, 56 minutes, I think that's fair. I didn't get to all the questions I wanted because you guys were asking questions, and that's really cool. We'll do this on Saturdays. We'll talk about questions. Let's see. Well, I'm really out of time. I want to go make that video for you guys. I put a whole bunch of questions there. Maybe next time I do. This is my first time doing this, so maybe next time I do it, I'll answer the comments and questions. You guys sent me so many comments and questions. I wanted to get to them, but we didn't really get to do that this time. But we did get to answer questions. So, all the gear, all the time. Young kids, young guys, do not go get a super bad motorcycle as your first bike. I just don't want to bury you. You don't want to have thumbs like this. I don't want to. Let's not do that. There's so much to teach you, and the first thing to teach you is take your time, and we can have all the fun in the world if you take your time and we do this like responsible people. We teach you how to ride. We give you some skills. We let you go work them out and everything, and then your bike, it'll progress and get bigger. You don't need to have a 1400 Ninja or a 1300 Hayabusa or God, whatever else they're building these days, as your first motorcycle. It's like having a Ferrari Testarossa as your first car. What are you going to do in that at 16 other than get in trouble? I'll never forget when I went to go buy the Subaru Brad XT Turbo when I was 21 in the Navy. The guy laughed me out of the. I could afford the car. The payments were going to be $400 a month in 1987. It was actually a little earlier than that, like 1985. $400 a month. But the insurance was more than the car. Insurance payments were more than the car. We don't need that for you. There's more to do than kill yourself. In Belgium, somebody says in Belgium, the government tried to impose yearly something just happened. I think I'm back now. Someone was saying something about something going on in Belgium. In Belgium, the government tried to impose yearly technical inspections, which was already the case in Germany. Yearly technical inspections. Those of us who ride okay, so I'm freezing up, so it might be time for me to get off. But someone said in Belgium, the government tried to impose yearly technical inspections. And yearly technical inspections is not a problem for bike riders who ride in motorcycle clubs, because we have a road captain who performs on the spot, always technical inspections, and should be. And you could get technically inspected and your butt fined at any second of the day from a mean, wise road captain whose job is keeping the pack alive. Someone told Dibber to use spell check. Really? And let's see. Grateful for you, Black Dragon and Dibber. Keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down. Someone said I work for funeral homes. What you're saying is absolutely correct. Walk before you run. Amen. Okay, great video, Black Dragon. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Have a great day, you guys. Somebody said Dibber is a legend. Typo maybe. Diver said never. Wrong spelling. I kind of believe that from Divo. From Dibbo. Speaking. Dibber doesn't do typos. He doesn't do wrong spelling. He said he does typers. Dibber says he doesn't do wrong spellings. He only typos. I kind of believe that. Can't speak. I'm done. I'm out. Listen, you guys have a great time. I'll be on tomorrow for a short time. It looks like net neutrality is getting me because my feed is going out. So that is my time. Obviously, time to go. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Stay well. Stay good. Get skinny. Check me out. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your super chat money. Thank you for all of that. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Peace. Have a great time. And get skinny.